Jackson here. You know, I may have chosen today's relaxed selection because I find it particularly touching. The song is House at Pooh Corner, written by Kenny Loggins, actually first recorded by the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. And just a couple of weeks ago, our band was playing a gig, and we invited onto the stage this really husky-voiced female singer known for singing songs such as Mercedes-Benz, that sort of thing. She did an a cappella version of House at Pooh Corner for a gal that was having a birthday in the crowd, and it was just, it was wonderful. Just a terrific song about not letting go of childhood, or letting go of childhood. Here's Kenny Loggins, House at Pooh Corner. All right, let's get started. I'm even more impressed since I found out that Kenny Loggins wrote this when he was still a teenager. Pretty impressive. The other thing about Kenny Loggins that's impressive is the range of his voice. So you're going to thank me when we do this song in the key of D rather than the key of E. It's really here somewhere. Christopher Robin and I walked along. And it gets up there. So I thought for all our sakes, especially the average person out there, we'll learn it in the key of D. So one of the first things I want to talk to you about is the picking style. I'm going to go with something straightforward, more of a campfire version, which will sound something like this. Christopher Robin and I walked along. Really straight strumming like that, and it's a nice strumming pattern. If you want to pick through it, I'll show you this quickly now. So if you decide to pick through the chords rather than strum them, I'm just going to tell you very quickly that it's a 1, 2, 3, 4 pick. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So those first four chords, D, E minor, F sharp minor, and B minor, you would find the notes in the middle of the chord to pick through, and I think you'll be able to find those on your own. Like so. And if you decide to play the song that way, then everything that I do in the song, all the chord changes, whenever we play through verses and whatnot, particularly the verses, just apply that picking style. But for the rest of us, from this point on, we're going to go with Christopher Robin and I walked along. Full chording. Okay, let's talk about the chords you need for House at Pooh Corner. All right, I'm going to show you 7 chords, and they're actually six chords, all 6 chords in the D family, the family of chords that are in the key of D, and then 1 extra chord. So you need an open D chord. You need an E minor, an F sharp minor bar chord, a B minor bar chord, an open G, an open A, and then in one spot in the song, the one that's not in that family, is a C major 7. And that's just an open C chord and lift off the pointer finger. Okay, and then we're going to find ways to connect those chords in certain parts of the song using little runs up and down, etc., etc., but those are the chords you need. Okay, I just want to show you the very simple strumming pattern we're going to use for this campfire version of Pooh Corner. And it just involves a strum, and then kind of a pick or a partial strum. If you like, you're going to go back and pick the first 2 notes of the chord, the root note and maybe the string below that. So strum the D, and then a little pick, and then another strum, and another little pick. So each beat of the song consists of strum, pick, strum, pick. Like that. And if I speed, I'll go through the progression slowly there. Okay, so faster. And that's something for you to practice, just getting that strumming pattern down. So it's strum, pick, 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 strum, pick. And for verses, now we're going to connect some chords in a moment here, so we're going to do some different things, but the main strumming pattern for the song is that. All right, I want to give you a modified intro here. There's a lot going on in the intro. There's, as was the case with Loggins and Messina, there's woodwind instruments, there's a piano, some different things. So just for this version, we're going to keep it simple like this. Okay, so that's all based around that D chord. Starts with a quick down, up, down strum. And then we're picking out that D note in the chord on the second string as the last strum. That's our lead note, and then we end up with this. Those four notes, the first one is already in the chord, so is the second one. And then I lift up my index finger to play the third note, and then my pinky goes down on the fourth fret of the fourth string to play the fourth note in that sequence. So it's D note, third fret, second string, second fret, third string, those are already in the chord. Then I lift this up, open G string, and then the final note is the fourth fret of the fourth string with my pinky. So if I play them together, remember that the first note is built into that third strum of the strumming pattern. 1, 2, 3, that note, the D note, is built into that. Hitting one quick open A string, open A note, and then into the strumming pattern, the rhythmic strumming pattern of the song. Christopher Robin and I. Okay, so practice that intro a few times and we'll build it into the song. All right, let's call this next section verse part 1. So here's the sequence of chords along with a little connector. We're not going to really play a full G chord or really a full A chord either, but the G and the A are in there. They're just kind of partial chords with some connecting notes. So here's the sequence. So we go from D, remember the strumming pattern, E minor, F sharp minor, D minor. And here's where we have the little sort of change in style. So we're in a G formation, but we're playing. And then I take that second finger off the B note on the 5th string and put it on the F sharp note on the 6th string. So play the A, so the notes are, the sequence is G, F sharp, E, A, but it's all built into partial chords. So you can pick down on those notes and then kind of up on the middle strings. The D. And then in the first time around, he does a little, I'm just playing an A there, those 3 notes in the A chord, and those are the only strings I'm strumming. And then open, which amounts to a G in this case, or it takes the place of a G, so. And then back into the sequence again. So let's go through that slowly again. Second time through, it just doesn't have that. We'll leave that out. So second time through. We'll just stay on the D. Okay, I think what we're ready for here is a playthrough of the intro along with that part, verse part 1.
Christopher Robin and I walked along under branches lit up by the moon, posing our questions to Owl and Eeyore as our days disappeared all too soon.
Okay, verse part 2. Same strumming pattern, strum pick, but with more intensity this time. I'll show you what I mean by that. And mute it just a tiny bit with the heel of your hand. So something like this. Okay, so again, it's just more attacked. And the sequence is B minor, F sharp minor, G. We're going to throw a quick E minor in here. Okay, so let's do that one more time. Now this is as opposed to, this is how we strummed earlier. But when we get to this part, well, I wandered much further today than I should. Now we're ready to head into the chorus, but let's do a full playthrough of a verse. Parts 1 and 2 together. 1, 2.
Christopher Robin and I walked along under branches lit up by the moon, posing our questions to Owl and Eeyore as our days disappeared all too soon. But I've wandered much further today than I should, and I can't seem to find my way back to the wood.
Okay, so now we get into the chorus of the song, and it's I'm going to, I guess, call this as well chorus part 1 and chorus part 2. And chorus part 1, just like verse part 1, is a little bit softer picking style. It's sort of a little lighter, and it follows the chord progression D, F sharp minor, G, and A. And we do that 3 times, so it's that progression times 3. Something like this. So help me if you can, I gotta get back to the house at the corner by 1. You'd be surprised, there's so much to be done. Okay, so that's chorus part 1, that progression 3 times. Then we get into a little edgier chording again, just like we did in the verse. And we cycle between F sharp minor and B minor, like so. Count all the bees in the hive, chase all the clouds from the sky. And we stop on that B minor and hold it. And then we get into the back to the days part, and that's going to be the progression G, A, B minor, and then kind of a surprise chord in there to finish it up and take us into the next verse. And that's the C major 7. So something like this. Back to the days of Christopher Robin and POOH. So let's take a look at the strumming for that, just that little section. Back to the days of Christopher Robin and POOH. Take us into verse 2. 1, 2, 3.
So help me if you can, I've gotta get back to the house at the corner by 1. You'd be surprised, there's so much to be done. Count all the bees in the hive, chase all the clouds from the sky, back to the days of Christopher Robin Pooh.
All right, I hope you enjoyed that little harmony I stuck in there that Jim Messina sang for Kenny Loggins. I mean, it is song mentor, not just guitar mentor, so I hope if you have somebody with you, you can play around with that harmony. It's just a terrific little spot in that song. Okay, so the final thing to show you would be how to end the song. So I've come up with an ending for you that's pretty much what happens in the song. And it goes through this pattern: G, A, B minor, G, A, B minor, G, A, B minor. So 3 times that. And then on the end, I'll show you a little bit of a kind of a fancy thing you can do just to finish it up. So something like this.
Back to the days of Christopher Robin, back to the ways of Christopher Robin, back to the ways of Pooh.
Okay, first of all, we'll take a look at the strumming for that ending.
Back to the days of Christopher Robin, back to the ways of Christopher Robin, back to the days of Pooh.
Okay, so for that finish, all I'm doing is based on that B minor chord, I'm lifting up the second finger, so strum it, pick the second string with the finger up, then pick the third string, and then hammer on and off the third string. Slow pick through the B minor to end it. All right, that's my ending for House at Pooh Corner. All right, fine tuning for House at Pooh Corner. Well, there's a section in the song that's instrumental and somewhat elongated. Features again some woodwinds and a little piano bit in it. So I've obviously left that out of this solo lesson. But here's my suggestion for that little piece that you could insert there. There's a little la 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 sing along to the melody, and I think you could quite happily put that in there and be very cool. So after the second verse and before the ending of the song, la 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 la. So help me if you can, I've got again. And that just takes you back into the final chorus before the ending. So again, just that little la-la thing would be, I think, work quite nicely in there. Okay, there you have it. A little bit of picking, a little bit of connecting, some really nice chords, a surprise chord, some harmonies, and a wonderful theme to this song and message. Kenny Loggins, House at Pooh Corner. We'll see you next time on Song Mentor.